Overview. Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons. So, Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons is an alternate take on the origin story of Jimmy and Billy's brothers, the Double Dragons. Your mission is to rid New York, devastated by a nuclear bomb, of the gangs that have now overrun it. But this time it won't be just you two. Uncle Martin and Marian, yes, this Marian, are also ready to distribute this punishment along with you. Let's go crazy. This is the first of two very significant changes of the franchise combat. Anyone who played the original Double Dragon games will remember the slow, clumsy and punitive combat that didn't allow for more mundane tactics like cheese and any other form of decent crowd control. Rise of the Dragons looks set to change all that. While cheating is still not a big deal, crowd control is now the focus of this game. You cannot tag your partner or perform special moves until the counter allows you to do so. Crowd control tactics are also rewarded. Perform a move that kills 3 or more enemies in one hit, you are given a healing item, as well as bonus money. The more enemies you can knock out at once, the better the healing item and the more money you drop. Lightweight cheater, lightweight. This brings us to the second shift in the franchise, roguelite elements. While most will mourn at the ideas of roguelite elements in the side-scrolling beaten up, it actually fits really well here. And if you are thinking about the story of a genre and how these games are generally structured, I am surprised that that is actually not more common. While Rise of Dragons isn't the first game, to my knowledge, it's the first time a high-profile franchise has implemented such elements. You can also buy and unlock tokens, which can be used to unlock characters. There are 13 in total. Art, music, gameplay, modifiers and tips, which are basically instructions or tips on how best to play the game. While the game isn't very long, it can technically be beaten in about 2 hours. There are multiple endings in true roguelike fashion, some of which have their own twist on the story. How do you feel about Hero? Visually, I wasn't sure how I felt about the game. So again, Modus seemed to be trying to strike a balance between modernizing the look and not to straying too far from the looks of the original games. While I have no problem using pixel art in this genre, did the pixel art here seem too simplistic to me? They veered too far from NES territory in my opinion in terms of pixel detail. At the same time, the quality of the animation is surprisingly high, given the simplicity of pixel art. The environment is bright, colorful and quite interactive. They want you to try and break everything you see to get as much money as possible to get upgrades or review yourself if you die. There is really nice variety in the missions, with unique little touches accompanying each one. Again, this keeps things a little fresher and helps reduce the repetitiveness these games can suffer from. The music and overall sound is excellent. The remixes of classic tunes are well done and respectfully recreate the nostalgic atmosphere of the original. The combat sound is punchy and really adds a bit of punch to every hit and goes very well with the slower combat style of the game. Overall, I'd say this is probably the best Double Dragon game out there. This is enough to modernize the franchise without deviating from the past traveled and without alienating fans of the franchise, which is an especially challenging task given the show's age and the seemingly aimless path it's taken on its journey. The omission of online co-op is a bummer, but given the state of online co-op in beaten up scrolling, I feel like this combat loses more and more with every game that doesn't include it. I feel like Rise of Dragons is laying down a pretty good foundation if they decide to keep making more games in the future. If the next game can tighten up and speed up combat and return to a more traditional control scheme, it could be something truly great.